he would then throw in a life-changing one-liner.
And the brand was our first big nightmare.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Heidi, gin tonic, do you remember?
Our first client
Exactly.
case.
Hey Heidi, 5 years LQ. Where did we come from? Do you still remember the start of our story?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Huh? It's already 7 years since I had the first discussion meeting with Peter on the Ladeuze Square in Leuven, and he showed me this. The 6 batteries of change. So he said you were busy with academic research already 5 years with 120 companies, looking what is really making an organization successful and how do you energize organizations. And then with that academic research, he being at Vlerik, then also looking at the rational side, the emotional side of change, I told Peter, this is gold. We have to put the theory really into practice and go to organizations. So let's start a company.
Yep, here we go.
And then he introduced me to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And he said, Geert, he is really the guy behind all of the research that we did. So let's meet him before we start up this company. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how did he inspire you?
Well, I always had a lot of admiration for the way that Peter was able to get the full attention of people. I think that if we went on stage for a large audience, he became Mr. Energy. And he always had a way of sharing complex messages in a very simple way, adding some kind of an experience component to it, so that everyone would go home saying like, oh, I get it, this is really something. So I thought that was really a good connection, the research, but then the inspirational messages that, you could give behind that, that I think, really attracted a lot to me, Peter. And I also still remember how, he was great with audience, but on a completely different level, he was really good at connecting with individuals as well. And then we would ask questions and dig deeper, until at some point he would then throw in a life-changing one-liner, be there, Heidi, remember?
Yeah, I will never forget.
Yeah, exactly. And that I think, is also something that I thought unique talent, that if we could combine that, with all the research data, etc., could really get to the heart of people. So, yeah. So let's go back in time. A monastery. You, me, Günther, Anne.
Yeah, that was our first big setback when Peter died. So it was a real shock for all of us. So I decided to go with the team to a monastery, to go back to nature, to have the real conversations. And we all said, why? Why is this happening to us? We lighted a candle in the abbey. The priest was giving us a simple coffee. I still see all of these images, and we all said, let's continue this legacy. We believe why we set up the company to really energize organizations with a passion to have an impact. And we all 4 came out of the monastery and said, yes, we continue. And what I also found very, very lightening is that we said, our strategy will be consistent. Our purpose is the same. Our strategy, our strategic pillars will be there. And we just go on. So, even in difficult times, the most difficult times, what I experience is that you even get closer to each other and even more focused. You remember our strategy with the 4 strategic pillars?
Oh yeah.
So it was B from brand pride, the I from impact, the Q from quality, and the T from team.
Right.
And the brand was our first big nightmare. You remember how many logos did we have?
Well, to my knowledge, at least 3 and 2 company names in less than 2 years. So it was indeed, quite a challenge for us at the start. I think we were really well prepared on business plan and propositions that we wanted to put into the market, but then building the identity is still something else. So I'm really glad that Gunther came on board, to provide some guidance to us on that area.
That's a real brand experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because then we changed from Lemnisq to LQ.
Yeah, which is LQ.
Yeah. So the Lemnisq or the Lemniscate, the L stands for Lemniscate, so the infinity,
right?
And the Q for trigger. But then we said it's such a long name, and customers in Flanders, they said, how the hell do you pronounce this Lemnisq? So we decided LQ, being the sum of EQ and IQ, so the balance always between the rational and the emotional side of change. So that was really good.
Yeah.
What was your biggest aha moment?
I think that even before we started the company, when I was doing the data analysis of the companies. We built this model, but at that point was still a conceptual framework. But then looking at the data and all suddenly noticing wow, if you do this right, you can get 95% certainty of success in change. Whereas the typical paradigm is that 70% of change initiatives fail. That was really, like a aha moment at that moment in time.
And that's why we could be so bold in saying we energize for success.
True.
We don't come in just with a promise, but we have the data. We can measure it. We can measure the impact and have that 95% success.
And it's really fascinating to see that after these 7 years, since we did the original research, that data has been confirmed all over again. So it's still the backbone of everything that we're doing. Now, for me, the second aha moment that was really important for the orientation of LQ as well is when Anna started pushing us to reflect on the impact from a much broader perspective. Bringing it to sustainability of large international organizations. And that's where I really started to see that, we can really make a difference. Even though, of course, we're still a small company, but if we do it right and we work with the right people, we can start to make a difference. And to me, that matters a lot. And that's still, driving my purpose for LQ as well. So,
yeah, that's the I for impact when you speak with the team.
Yeah.
It's all about the impact, not only on the profit, which we measure in organizations when they charge their batteries, but it's also on the people and the planet. And if you see with these large organizations, how many people we can have an impact on their well-being, on their lives, and how big these organizations are and footprint they have an impact on their planet. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's success, right? Success, impact. Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Success, Heidi, gin tonic. Do you remember, how we started our first success with gin tonic?
Yeah, that was in a hotel in the EM nearby our offices, our first client case. And it's so good that we continue to celebrate also our learnings and our successes. Not only talk about our failures, but also our successes.
Yeah. Cheers.
So what's the client case you are the most proud of?
I must say the one that is still very close to my heart is the case from Mathieu Gijbels. Probably one of the oldest cases where we started from the start of our company. Since that we guided them for so many years, guided them from a loss position to a profit position, but then also noticing the impact on the staff, on the client, the connection they start to have within their company. I think that is very rewarding. And even if I talk to folks from Gables and I see that after 7 years they still repeat some of the things that we taught them, it makes me really proud of what we accomplished there. Recently they had this vision that they created where they want to become a sustainability leader in their sector. And I think that's ideally the case that we want to see for every of a customer. So if we can coach them from where they are towards impact on the society and on sustainability in general, that would be ideal. So from that perspective, I also think that currently the Stolt tankers case is of course on a different scale, and that's where we really are demonstrating that we can do something similar also for big international companies. So those two cases, I think, I'm really proud of. So, okay. Now, what is it that you are most proud of, Heidi?
Also, of course, the customer impact, working for these international organizations, also, for example, SHV, or working for different business units where they all used 6 batteries as a simple language that is reproduced throughout the whole organization, from the top teams to the middle management to the employees. Everybody is speaking, which battery are you charging today? So I love to hear these customer stories, their feedback in review meetings. Then I feel really proud. And also, a second element is our consistency. I think building an organization, a company, it is really important for me, was really important to stay consistent in our beliefs, to say, we want that, we go for it, we energize for success. Our basic are these 6 batteries of change. We dare to say no to customers. If your top team is not involved, we say, sorry, take your responsibility, grab it and go for it, but not with us if you are not convinced. So be there for the 100% and consistently follow that strategy. For example, not go aside where you say, perhaps we can also do this or that. That was an important element in our management teams all the time. New ideas, but make sure that we stay consistent to what we believe in. And as you know, Geert, I'm a team and a people person. So last but not least, the team is for me something I'm really proud of. When I got diagnosed with cancer, almost 2 years ago now, was another important moment of reflection and sadness, but where we as a team were again very strong. Said we continue and we go consistently for this strategy. We go for what we believe in, and that with Anna and Gunther standing there together with you. Also today, when I see it, when I see the team growing with more business transformation managers, all reflecting these same values of continuous learning, of freedom, of passion, of trust. Trust is something I also learned in a team is everything, and with the right team you can energize any organization. We can energize the world, I believe. Yeah. So Geert, what are you most grateful for?
Well, I'm certainly grateful for all the people that I've been working with over these years, and I mean in particular all the consultants. I think that whether they still work at LQ or now went their own way, whenever I see them, they still act as true ambassadors of the 6 batteries and of the LQ philosophy. Yeah. So from that perspective, it's one thing to write a book and to share the knowledge in that way, but then to see that people become real ambassadors of this kind of element, that really makes me very, very proud, I must say.
A dream come true.
A dream going true, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then besides that, I'm also really grateful for the journey that we've been able to accomplish together. So working with you has really been a pleasure for me. First of all, because I really admire your decisiveness. This kind of journey is not always easy, but decisions have to be made. And when you take a decision, you go full in. And I think that was really important to us. Same element that you already mentioned before, you put the team at the core of everything that you do. And so from that element, I think that has been really key for the collaboration between the different members of our organization. And then, and finally, I definitely also learned from you that you always have to give trust to people. So it's not always easy, but you sometimes have to let them go and trust that they will, do the right thing to accomplish this kind of success. So I'm really grateful for sharing that experience for me. So it's been a pleasure doing this journey together. Let's drink to that, Heidi.
Yeah.
To past and future success. Cheers.
And thanks for everything, Geert.
Thanks, Heidi.